What's up, guys? It's Marza's Sports. It's Showboy Marshall. Today, we have Elite 8 picks for the March Madness for the men's. Let's recap everything that happened the last 2 days. Arizona beat up Arkansas by 21 as they scored 109 points on them. Illinois beat Houston, a very low-scoring game for basketball, 65-55, and then Iowa beat Nebraska in the close game, and then Purdue barely beat Texas by 2, and then the next day Tennessee actually beat Iowa State by 14. UConn beat Michigan State by 4. UConn had an early jump on them, but Michigan State made a comeback, but still didn't win. Michigan beats Alabama by 13. And then Duke beat St. John's by 5. So there you go. Let's move on to the Elite 8. Elite 8. Sorry, that sounds so racist. Anyways, 5:09 p.m. What a random start time. We've got Iowa versus Illinois, a rematch, a Big Ten rematch. As Iowa might be the hottest team in college basketball right now. Like, this team has been on fire, bro. Like, you take a look at this team's resume in this tournament. Like, they beat Clemson and they beat Florida and Nebraska. This team's really good. And compared to how they played Illinois, they actually lost to Illinois only by 6. So there's that. And that was early in the season. That was 2 months ago. Over 2 months ago now. And honestly, at this point, both these teams have been very good. Like Iowa, they beat Nebraska in their last game. They've won a lot but Illinois, on the other hand, has been great too. Like they beat Penn by a lot in the first round. They beat Virginia Commonwealth by 21 after they beat North Carolina, of course. And then Illinois beat Houston by 10. A very defensive side of games. There's that. But if Illinois' defense can really lock in, they could stop Iowa. But you know what? Iowa's one of the hottest teams out there. I'm actually going to pick Iowa to win. 34% go at them as well. They've looked great in this tournament. I did not expect them to make it this far in the tournament. Like, I knew they beat Florida, but like even before the tournament started, but I didn't think they'd make it past that. Yeah, but credit to them, man. Now we got Purdue versus Arizona. Purdue's been great this year. They had a close game against Texas, but they're one of the hottest teams out there. They haven't lost the game in a while. Have they played each other yet this season? No, they have not, I figured. But Purdue's been great this year. Like, ever since they lost to Wisconsin in the regular season, they haven't lost a game since then. They've won every conference tournament game. Of course, they won their conference, and they've won every tournament game so far. So there's that. They're taking on Arizona. Arizona's 35-2. That seems insane, bro. Like, excuse me, I had some snot in my mouth for a second. But Arizona's just been genuinely insane this year, man. Like, they've not lost a game since Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day. That's crazy. And that was a 2-game stretch. They could have won that game too, of course. But they've been really good. Like, they beat teams left and right, man. They beat Arkansas by a lot. So yeah. But overall, I think this ought to be a good game. I'm gonna say Arizona wins this one. 69% go with them as well. Nice. And in the next round, we got Tennessee versus Michigan. Tennessee makes it this far in the tournament. Wow. As they beat Iowa State by a decent amount. I think was Iowa State leading by at one point? I don't know. But they've been great this tournament. Like, they beat Miami, Ohio, and then they beat Virginia by 7, and then Iowa State by 14. This team's been great. But they are taking on Michigan, who just beat Alabama by 13. Both these teams have been great. I think Tennessee, like Michigan, obviously they've been great. Now they lost the conference tournament, but they've been really good. Staying in March Madness so far. It's Howard, St. Louis, and Alabama. So yeah, overall this might be a good game. I'm gonna say Michigan's gonna win this one. 77% go to them as well. And then And then UConn, and then University of Connecticut versus Duke, a rematch of a. Good lord. And this is a rematch of a college football game, ironically, and UConn actually won this game. I literally said in that video, I don't think I ever posted it, this would be absolute cinema if this was basketball. And here we are. They're playing in basketball. UConn, they've been great in the tournament. They beat Michigan State. They had an early lead on them, and Michigan State never really recovered. I mean, it got close to the end, of course, but still. And McGrady also beat UCLA and probably what's going to be the women's final at this point. And then what could be the women's final, should I say. And then they beat Furman. And there's that, but they've been good in this tournament so far. Of course, they made their powerhouse in basketball, so yeah. But they are taking on Duke, and Duke's been crazy good this year. After a slow start in the first round, when they almost lost to CN of all teams, they beat up TCU, and then they beat St. John's by 5. So there's that. But I mean, UConn, of course they played. Didn't they play St. John's in the championship? Sorry, I'm texting my mama. But yeah, UConn's been great. I know they did lose to St. John's by a lot in the tournament, but I mean, they've been inconsistent points in the season, but like they've been really good in this tournament so far. Have they actually played Duke? No, they have not. But I know they played in football, obviously, but we're talking about men's basketball specifically. But this ought to be a close game. I think Duke will win this one, 62% going as well. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Have a nice day, and goodbye. See you next one. Peace.